And what would he be doing when looking at you and Zach in the back seat?
He would just be smiling, and he would just look at us with his big smile on his face.
And was this after seeing Alexa Bartell's car in the field?
Yes.
Just some chilling words in a Jefferson courtroom today. A former friend testified against the man accused of throwing a landscaping rock that killed Alexa Bartell. She was driving when that rock crashed through her windshield.
Nicholas Karol-Chik described the reaction of Joe Koenig, who is now on trial for first-degree murder and other charges. Kevin Vaughn from 9 News Investigates has been in court throughout this entire trial. He joins us now. And Kevin, the big issue for this particular witness, though, is credibility.
Jenny and Alex, that's right. Nicholas Karol-Chik acknowledged today that he changed his story on key details in this case, including the question of who threw the rock that killed Alexa Bartell. Today, he insisted it was Joe Koenig, someone he once considered his best friend. There's no dispute what happened when a large landscaping rock ripped through Alexa Bartell's windshield, and no dispute who was involved: Joe Koenig, Nicholas Karol-Chik, and Zackary Kwak. Today, in hours of testimony, Karol-Chik repeatedly said it was Koenig who threw the deadly rock. Prosecutor Catherine Decker asked Karol-Chik to describe the moment.
So, like he had been doing all night, he, with his left hand, threw it out of the driver's side window into the path of the car that was oncoming.
Had you had enough time to identify Miss Bartell as a target?
No, we had just seen the car coming at us, and that was that.
After Bartell's car went off the road and ended up in a field, Karol-Chik said Koenig turned around and drove by the scene twice.
The second time you passed her as she was off the road, did you stop so you could check on her?
No.
Given that you just testified you thought she was seriously injured, did anyone call 911?
No.
Given that you thought she was seriously injured, did anyone do anything to help her?
No.
Defense attorney Martin Stewart got Karol-Chik to acknowledge that he claimed for months it was Kwak who threw the rock that killed Bartell. Then his story changed as his attorneys worked to get him a plea deal.
By that point, when you were doing that interview, protecting Joe Koenig was out the window. You were all about protecting yourself, right?
At the point of that interview, I still felt that I owed something to Joe. At the point of that initial.
Karol-Chik was the 50th witness called by the prosecution. They rested their case just in the last 15 minutes or so. There's no court on Monday. The defense is expected to begin its case Tuesday morning. Live in Jefferson County, Kevin Vaughn, 9 News.
The witnesses testifying. What's so important about those two, though, Kevin? I guess putting them there that night.
The question of who threw the rock is really not that important in one way. The jury can find Joe Koenig guilty of first-degree murder even if they don't know who threw the rock. But it's obvious that both the prosecution and the defense think it's a critical issue because these two witnesses spent a total of almost 8 hours on the stand, and much of it had to do with their credibility and who threw the rock.
And Kevin, I have to ask, we've heard some, horrifying details during this testimony this week about the attacks. How has Alexa Bartell's family reacted to hearing this?
Well, Alex, I can tell you that, first of all, they fill all 3 rows in the benches behind the prosecution side of the courtroom, and they have had a number of emotional moments, both when they were talking about the grievous injuries that Alexa Bartell suffered, and yesterday in particular when Zackary Kwak testified, he said he saw the speedometer hit 103 miles an hour just before that rock was thrown, and several of them became very emotional at hearing that testimony.
Cannot imagine. Kevin, thank you for being on this week, and we'll continue next week as well.